Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here, and Merry Christmas to everybody celebrating Christmas Day. Hope you have a great Christmas wherever you are. Whether you're at home, whether you're celebrating with your family, no matter where you are, hope you have a great Christmas today. Alright, and here I am, like I said, I promised, to complete my Christmas reviews for this year. Here I am with a review for Santa Claus is Coming to Town. So, yeah, this is definitely like a really good special. This is definitely a very enjoyable thing to watch during the holidays, and yeah, I definitely did enjoy this. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, like I said before, the Rankin Bass specials are just like really like watched by everyone religiously during the holidays, and rightfully so. I mean, they are really great to watch, and this one is no exception. I mean, this is just really enjoyable. I don't think that this is quite as good as like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and I think Frosty the Snowman is like more watchable than this one is, but yeah, this is still like really good and yeah, really enjoyable to watch. I do think that this is overall better than The Year Without Santa Claus. I mean, I think this is like a little more watchable than The Year Without Santa Claus. And yeah, I mean just yeah, this is definitely like a really enjoyable thing to watch during the holidays. Yeah, I do like the story that this special has. I mean, the story for this special is basically like a tale talking about the legend of Santa or something. And yeah, it's sold really well. I mean, it definitely does like show like how Santa, at first he wasn't really looked at as like really loved by people, but yeah, as like he showed the kind of person he is, he did like gain a lot of people's love, and then yeah, he just then like made it a yearly thing, and yeah, the way that the special tells it, it is really well done, and I really do enjoy it. And so yeah, I just like really did enjoy watching this. Like I said, I mean, this like has like a voice talents like Fred Astaire, Mickey Rooney, Paul Frees, Joan Gardner, and yeah, they're all like pretty good voice actors for this special. And yeah, it did have like some funny elements to it, and yeah, it had some good characters, a good story. Yeah, just it is a very enjoyable special. So yeah, I would give this special a 3.5 stars out of 4. I mean, I definitely did enjoy this, and yeah, it definitely does deserve all the praise that it has getting over the years. It is just such an enjoyable special. Alright, so, yeah, let me just get right into it. Alright, so as the special kicks off, there's like this newsreel prologue that's being shown. And then, like, it's shown that this delivery, mailman or something, SD Kluger, is, like, shown to be, like, the narrator for this whole thing. And he's like, he has like all these letters from kids, I guess like addressed to Santa at the North Pole, and like these letters are actually talking and stuff. And then like once like SD's like snowmobile or his mail truck has broken down, he then like starts to tell the story of Santa, like as he's answering like the kids' letters to Santa, and it like starts off in a real gloomy city, a somber town. And it's ruled by like Burgermeister Meisterburger, who's like really ill-tempered. And then once a baby ends up like arriving on his doorstep, it has a name tag that reads Claus. And there's a note like requesting that Burgermeister ends up raising the child, but instead of doing that, he then just ordered the baby to be taken to the orphan asylum. And as he's on the way to the orphan asylum, like there's a huge windstorm or something, and like the sled and the baby end up like being blown to like what's known as the Mountain of Whispering Winds. And then animals are then just like hiding the baby from like this evil creature known as the Winter Warlock, and he's just like given to like an elfish type of family who's like known as the Kringles, and they're like led by their queen, Tanta Kringle. And then they all end up deciding to adopt the baby, and then they decide to name him Chris. So yeah, given the name Kris Kringle. Yeah. And as time goes on, like, Chris really does want to restore the Kringle family as, like, the first toy makers to the king. And once he ends up getting old enough, he then like ended up like volunteering to deliver Elf's toys to Sombertown. But like toys have actually been outlawed in the town by the Burgermeister due to like him tripping on a toy that was left on steps, and he then like just decided that anybody that had a toy in the town would be arrested. And as Chris was like on his way to Sombertown, he ended up like meeting a lost penguin that he named Topper, and then they end up like coming across the Winter Warlock, and they just end up like deciding to like try to evade him. And, yeah. And once he like arrives in the town, he then like was just offering toys to these two children that are washing their stockings, but then like their teacher, Miss Jessica, like was trying to stop him, but then once Chris like offered her a China doll as a peace offering, she then like softened up towards Chris, and Chris was then just giving more toys to the kids of the town. But then yeah, the Burgermeister then like caught him, and the kids were gonna end up being arrested. But then Chris like stopped the Burgermeister and gave him a yo-yo. And at first he was enjoying playing with the yo-yo. I mean he was like really happily playing with it. But then like he ended up like being reminded about his own law and that he like was ending up breaking his own law, and then yeah, he then ended up just like ordering Chris to be captured. Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, eventually like Chris and Topper went back home to the Kringles. Well, they were heading back home to the Kringles, but then yeah, they ended up being captured by the Winter Warlock. But then yeah, Chris ended up like giving the Winter Warlock a toy train as a gift, and then the Winter Warlock then like softened up towards Chris too, and then his appearance like totally changed, and then Chris then like ended up being reunited with Jessica by the work of the Winter Warlock. And then yeah, also Jessica told Chris that the Burgermeister really like destroyed all the toys and the children now want new ones. And then yeah, Chris gave the promise to the children that he would give the children new toys if they would behave themselves. Also, and then yeah, he like gave the promise to like watch. Yes. Right. Yeah. Sorry about that. Anyway. Yeah. And yeah, Chris like just gave the kid the promise that he'd be watching them through his magic snowball. And then once the Burgermeister then like heard about what Chris was intending to do, he then just ordered like the entire town to be locked down. The town, and then the houses would be searched. And then Chris just then ended up by the chimney. So yeah, throughout the special, like it's more and more like how like it's the tale of Santa and like how he really did become up his traditions and stuff. Yeah, and yeah, and then yeah. Anyway, then uh Chris. Yeah, and then yeah, Burgermeister then was just like ending up setting some traps for Chris. It says he like ended up making another some more deliveries. He's young. And eventually, yeah, Chris, along with like Topper and Winter, ended up being captured, and then Jessica like just was ending up like pleading to her her friends to try to save them, but they ended up like all well, yeah, Jessica ended up like pleading to Winter, sorry, to or no, she just like pleading to Burgermeister. I'm sorry, I'm getting so tongue tied here to like save her friends, but he ended up like refusing to do that. And then yeah, Jessica then went to Winter and asked to break everyone out, but he just told her that he can't, and because he really doesn't have any magic left except for like this giant feed corn to make the reindeers fly. And yeah, Jessica then ended up like me going to the reindeers to give them that corn to make them fly, and then yeah, the SD was just talking about like the reindeer, of course, like Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, and Donner, and Blitzen. And then yeah, it was funny. The kids then like were like you're gonna start to bring up Rudolph, but then yeah, SD just like said that that was a different story. So yeah, there was no Rudolph here yet. And yeah, then the reindeer then flew, and then they helped the Kringles, Chris, Topper, and Winter all escape. And then, yeah, Chris was then just like looked at over the months as an outlaw, and then he just ended up returning to the woods, and then he like grew a beard as a disguise, and yeah, then yeah, Tanta just said like Chris can't go by his actual name anymore, so he won't be captured anymore. So they then just suggested to Chris that he should return to his birth name Claus for safety. And yeah, he agreed, and then yeah, he then went by Santa Claus, and then yeah, Chris then ended up marrying Jessica, and yeah, they all then traveled to the North Pole to build their castle and the workshop and everything. Yeah, and then yeah, it was like shown like as the years would pass, Chris would like still be traveling by night due to being an outlaw, and then yeah, then like was told that eventually like the Meisterburgers ended up like dying off, and then they fell out of power, and then that whole law about toys and everything was just ended up being abolished. And yeah, the townspeople then it was shown that they were all looking up to Chris, and then yeah, he was then like, as he was now of course like Santa Claus, and Jessica was Mrs. Claus, and then Santa then like, and or it's like he then like chose that he would like limit his journeys of course to one night a year, which would of course be Christmas Eve, which was looked at as the night of profound love. And as he was like just about ready to leave, Winter was telling him that he has magic power. He now has his magic powers back, and he can guarantee a white Christmas to the world. And then yeah, I just ended with SD explaining the true meaning of Santa, and yeah, he then like remembered he still did have like to deliver the letters to him, and then he ended up like leaving for the North Pole. And as he was riding along, it was like shown like he was being joined by like Topper, Winter, the Kringle family, and also a parade of children. They were all singing the song "Santa Claus is Coming to Town" as the credits were rolled. And then yeah, and at the end of the credits, they then reach Santa's workshop, and it shows like Chris and Jessica's shadows were in the castle, and then yeah, Santa ended up stepping outside, and yeah, he was then like waving towards us, the viewers, goodbye, and yeah, it's just then like we heard like a group of children saying "Merry Christmas," and that's how it ended. So yeah, definitely like a really good special, really enjoyable. I do like that this really is looked at as a origin of Santa Claus, and how it really was known as like the traditions of what he does with the chimney and Christmas Eve and the reindeer and stuff. So yeah, I did like how it was really being told as an origin story of Santa Claus. So I do enjoy it for that. So like I said, 3.5 stars out of 4. Definitely like I said, I think Rudolph and Frosty the Snowman are like more watchable, but yeah, this is still like probably maybe yeah, it definitely is probably top 5 ranking best holiday specials, and yeah, definitely like really did who enjoyed this, and yeah, I would say go watch it, but chances are like because like just about everybody does watch the ranking best holiday specials during the Christmas season, you probably already do. So yeah, really good special overall, very enjoyable. All right, so yeah, that does it for my review of Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and Merry Christmas once again, and yeah, I hope you enjoy your Christmas and just have a good time with your family or at home, and yeah, just enjoy the best day of the year. So yeah, anyway, so yeah, got a few more things coming before the end of the year, so yeah, stay tuned for those. But until then, yeah, once again, Merry Christmas to everybody. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So thanks for watching. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you guys later.